Well, we are here at the Nehemiah Weekend in Atlanta. I'm here with the chairman and founder of Green Global, Richard Cole. Richard, welcome.
Thank you very much, Patrice.
Richard, you first of all tell us about this company, Green Global, and this spin-off from Green Global called Clean Hands, Pure Heart.
All right. Well, first let me tell you that Green Global Holdings is just that. It's a holding company, and we own two companies. We have two subsidiaries. One is InnovaSource, which owns a complete line of green products, products that clean, they're green, and they kill germs. Unlike products that are available in the marketplace now that clean and kill germs, but they also do damage to the environment. And that whole family of products is called Proxy, P-R-O-X-I, and they'll be available in grocery stores starting in the next 30 days, and then we'll roll out across the country. Second, we have a company that we're really very excited about, and it's called Clean Hands, Pure Heart. The name is taken from the 24th Psalm. Who can approach the throne of the Lord? Only he who has clean hands and a pure heart. In response to the H1N1 pandemic that maybe never really materialized like it did, like folks thought that it would, there were hand sanitizers that were introduced into the marketplace. Virtually all of those hand sanitizers are alcohol-based. And anytime that you introduce an alcohol-based product into the market and you put it on your hands or your body, alcohol is a drying agent, and it causes chapped hands, cracking of cuticles. And after a while, you begin to absorb that alcohol. And it's just not healthy. So what we've done, because we're in the chemistry business, is we went to our chemists and our formulators and we said, you know, the marketplace is very much addicted, shall we say, to alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Is it possible to develop a line of hand sanitizers and antimicrobial soap that is not alcohol-based? Well, it is. And so we have developed hand sanitizers and antimicrobial soap that is by far the best chemistry in the marketplace. It's got benzochromium chloride in it. The FDA says it either has to have alcohol or it has to have BZK. As a result, ours is water-based. It's got a lantern in it. It's a moisturizer. It's got a nice fragrance. It serves to kill germs but moisturize your hands at the same time. Now, the beauty in all that we do with Clean Hands, Pure Heart is that as a kingdom business, our profits from Clean Hands, Pure Heart are reinvested in the kingdom. Our mission at Clean Hands, Pure Heart, we have one purpose, and that's to support your mission.
Wow. Now, you recently got involved in biblical entrepreneurship, and you've actually done BE 1 and 2. Tell us what led you to be part of biblical entrepreneurship, even though you have tremendous business experience, and how has been your experience in biblical entrepreneurship?
Well, Patrice, you know, I thought as a successful serial entrepreneur that I understood how you develop a business, how you write a business plan, and the basic principles of hiring human capital and inspiring them. My very good friend Glenn Reppel from G.A. Reppel and Company down in Orlando, Florida, who works with us to help us raise capital to underwrite our business, suggested that I take BE, Biblical Entrepreneurship, with him. As a matter of fact, he's a certified teacher, and he says, Richard, why don't you come be a part of my class? Well, as a believer and as a businessman, I'm constantly trying to absorb new ideas, and I understand that as a Christian, there's a maturation process. You know, I am but really a toddler right now in my terms of maturity as a Christian, and I'm struggling to be an adolescent, and maybe one day I'll get to be an adult. But it requires that we learn and we absorb as much as we can from our wise counsel and leaders who've gone before us. So I took BE1 and I was hooked because what I saw were biblical principles that when applied to my business, not only did the paradigm shift, but the relationships, the relational aspect of the people within our business took on a whole new tone. Wow. Folks began to communicate openly, honestly, hold each other accountable, and ask each other to hold them accountable. Things became very concise. We all understood exactly what we were doing and why we were doing it and who we were doing it for, and to glorify His name. Consequently, everybody's goals were aligned.
Wow. You've gone further than that. You've recently joined the Nehemiah board and took on the task of fundraising to help this vision expand not only in the nation, but also in the nations. Tell us about that, and what's your vision there?
Well, first, Patrice, let me tell you that it's a privilege and an honor to serve on the Nehemiah Project International Ministries Board. As most folks will come to understand, it's impossible to say no to Patrice. And so when you called and said, "Would you?" I didn't have any choice. I was hooked on the biblical entrepreneur process. And what I've come to understand is that success is a direct result from how much we've absorbed from the wise counsel of others. Directly proportional. And BE is an amalgamation of biblical principles that if we can employ strategically in businesses and specifically impart to young entrepreneurs, we can change the marketplace.
Amen.
So, as a board member and as chairman of the fundraising committee, my responsibility is going to be to raise funds, to underwrite the operating expense, and to raise money for scholarships so that we can take biblical entrepreneurship not just across these great states, but to the rest of the world. I mean, we weren't commanded to just go next door. We were commanded to go unto the uttermost ends of the earth. And this is one way that we fulfill the Great Commission. And if we can take BE to the most remote third world countries, the marketplace then has an opportunity to exemplify and share the love of Jesus Christ. I mean,
wow.
We are ordained as ministers in the marketplace. We're called. And I never thought that it would be a place in my life or a vision that would just be all consuming for me. But it has become just that. And it's just such a privilege to serve with Pastor Moore and Pastor Crute and yourself and Glenn Reppel and Art Alley. Just a tremendous, tremendous group of folks, all passionate about biblical entrepreneurship.
Before I get the last question, we also working with Green Global on trying to really equip young people on biblical entrepreneurship.
That's right.
And I know that that's an area of passion for you as well. Kind of tell us why you're so passionate about making sure the young people get these skills. We're going to have these young people selling clean hand, pure hearts around the country.
Well, that's exactly right. As I've said, our mission...
And this is teenagers, by the way.
These are teenagers.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Our mission at Clean Hands, Pure Heart is to support somebody else's mission. And if there's a youth group or a church choir or a little business venture or a DECA organization or a VOTEC organization that needs a business model by which to raise money to teach biblical principles, we have a product that, you know, all the profits go to you.
That's right.
And you can use it.
And they learn business skills in the process.
And they learn business skills. They can learn direct marketing in the traditional fashion, where it's one-on-one and a lot of shoe leather. But also we've got
internet marketing.
And we've also got internet marketing,
which is the
too.
new thing there.
That's exactly right. So it becomes the latest 21st century technology, as well as the shoe leather technology.
And they learn about green technology.
They
That's
learn all about green
which is the
technology.
future.
That's exactly right. And it can be employed any place for any humanitarian project.
Now, somebody's watching now and they want to know, how can I support you, Richard, in fulfilling your mandate for Nehemiah as a fundraising chair? What would you say? How could our listeners support us in capitalizing this strategy?
Well, it's really very simple. What they need to do is they need to go to the nehemiahproject.org, and where they see the heart logo, multicolored round heart logo for Clean Hands, Pure Heart. Just click on that. It'll take them to a landing page, and they can buy Clean Hands, Pure Heart products. All the profits from Clean Hands, Pure Heart products are returned back to the Nehemiah Project to support biblical entrepreneurship. So right there, from the comfort of their own home or living room or library, they can sow into your ministry. And it's a fabulous way to support young businesses and young entrepreneurs all over the world.
And of course, other ministries can also adapt Clean Hand, Pure Hearts for their own missions.
Absolutely. It's available to all ministries. We don't discriminate based on the ministry.
That's right. Really, all organizations.
That's right. All organizations. We only ask that the cause be kingdom-based.
Amen. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you, Patrice.